Hi guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be doing a 40,000 mile update on my 2021 Camaro LT1. And for those of you guys who don't know, I've had this 2021 Camaro LT1 since February of 2021, so it's been almost 2.5 years of ownership, and after these 2.5 years, I've racked up 40,000 miles on this beast, actually hitting the 40,000 mile mark yesterday, Monday the 26th. I've kept this car mostly completely factory throughout my time with it, outside of a well-needed tire upgrade at about the 10,000 mile mark, which made a tremendous difference. Make sure you check that video out. I posted it as soon as I got the tires on. But they made a big difference because the factory tire setup on these LT1s is a 245 wide all season. It's a Goodyear Eagle all season, one of the best in the business, but still a 245 wide all season, simply not enough to put 455 horsepower, 455 pound-feet of torque to the ground. So I upgraded to the 255 wide Firehawk Indy 500s. They're 255/35 R20s. Square setup, all 4 tires the same. I did a tire rotation recently, and I still got pretty good tread depth after driving about 30,000 miles on these tires, which is about the recommendation for the duration or lifetime of these tires. But I've done that exact number, and I still have like 60–70% tread, as you'll see in this video. For those of you guys following me from the beginning, know that this car came with a 39,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty, and as soon as that ran out, as you notice, we have a ZL1 front bumper now on this 2021 LT1, and it's made a huge difference. The look is absolutely 10 out of 10. The fit and finish is like a 9, 8.5 out of 10. There's a couple larger gaps, as you see in the lower fender area, but the hood gap is perfect, just like a factory. The front end design, basically a factory setup. The front lip looks awesome. You notice some LED daytime running strips, which aren't functional, unfortunately, because my LT1 didn't have fog lights. So since it didn't have fog lights, it would be a whole process to get these fog lights to actually work, but they still look awesome. The front bumper is a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. The paint overall has been keeping up well. I mentioned in the beginning there was a couple paint chips, and that's still the case. You can see a chip right here in the corner. There's a chip on the door. There's a small tiny chip on the roof, but for the most part, the paint's holding up wonderfully. You notice a little bit of a additional gap from the fitment, but other than that, it looks awesome. The wheel and tire setup, we mentioned the 20-inch rims wrapped in Firehawk Indy 500 Summer Performance tires, 255/35 R20s. We have a 4-piston Brembo Camaro brake caliper up front. It's not a Brembo brake caliper out rear. That's one of my complaints with the exterior styling of this vehicle. I wish we at the very least had a red painted caliper out rear. The mirrors also don't fall in. This is one of the only vehicles that I've reviewed in this channel that doesn't have folding mirrors, but they still look pretty good. The body color is appreciated by me. The black trim for the window trim also looks nice, but in this Florida sun, as you see, this rubber molding is starting to show a little bit of age. That might have to get replaced in a couple of years or so, but I'm still loving the way the paint's holding up. 2.5 years in the Florida sun, and it looks awesome. You see a couple more paint chips in the corner. The rear wheel and tire setup, I mentioned, I'll show you guys the tread depth. This is the rear tread depth. It still has plenty, as you guys can see. The front tread depth, I'll hop over here to the side, and you can see also pretty decent amount of depth, about 50% in the front, 70% in the rear, but that's because I recently did a tire rotation. Out rear, everything's completely factory. I might be doing a ZL1 rear bumper in the future too, because as you see, it's starting to pop out a little bit in the corner. And I'm thinking if the factory bumper is starting to pop out, might as well replace it with an aftermarket upgraded bumper. I don't know what those birds are doing. They are going absolutely crazy, but as I said, if I have to end up replacing the bumper, it's gonna be expensive either way. Bumpers are not cheap, so if I'm replacing a bumper, might as well make it look a lot cooler now that I'm no longer under warranty. We get the quad factory MPP performance exhaust, and it sounds awesome with the 6.2 liter V8. And speaking of that, let's fire this beast up and hear how she sounds. All right guys, that was the sound of the 6.2 liter pushrod V8 sold by Chevy for the 2021 Camaro LT1, and it sounds awesome with this MPP performance exhaust. It sounds so good that there's really no reason to upgrade the exhaust. One thing that I've been considering is, since we're at 40,000 miles, it's about time to change up the air filter. So since I would have to spend money to change the air filter, my logic is probably go with a closed box cold air intake instead. I was looking at the one from InGen, It's about 400 bucks. Let me know in the comment section what you'd recommend, because I read reviews that the engine's not quite as good as the RotoFab closed box, but the RotoFab closed box is like 650, 700 bucks, while the performance upgrades are about the same. I like the engine though because I don't have to do a tune if I go with it, but I may actually end up going with a tune later on anyway, simply to deactivate the AFM, active fuel management, cylinder deactivation that these push rod 6.2s get. We get strut tower braces connecting the strut towers to the chassis. We also have additional supports in front of the radiator. Hopefully you guys can pick them up on camera. The upper grille is a lot smaller compared to the LT1, but as you see, this lower grille is absolutely massive, and the radiator continues right down below. There's a little hole here for a tow hitch, but I personally think it looks a little bit tacky. This bumper also came with like slots for the ZL1 1LE, not quite sure what you would call them, those little aerodynamic slots, but I also thought that looked a little bit tacky. This look on this front bumper is exactly what I was going for. I couldn't fit the Chevy badge. It came with a Chevy badge. Well, the bumper didn't come with a Chevy badge for copyright infringement reasons, but I bought a Chevy badge, it just didn't fit. I may go with a flow tie later, but I personally like the look without the badge, so we'll see what I do moving forward. My next upgrade will probably be a cold air intake, so catch back with me when that happens. The hydraulic struts are also appreciated. The Mustang GT does not get them, the Mach 1 does not get them. So to see an LT1, which had a base price of $34K at the time, about $36K now, have hydraulic hood struts from the factory, definitely a 10 out of 10 thumbs up. It also says Chevy Performance on the front of the radiator. We can shut this hood right down, take a step back, walk around this 2021 Camaro LT1 with the ZL1 front bumper one more time, and I think it looks awesome. The fitment could be a little bit better. They could have matched the color slightly better too. But after about a year in the sun, it's gonna even out pretty well. We can take a step inside, check out the interior real quick. There's not a whole lot different. It's holding up really well. The seats have held up just about perfectly. I have a fishing line and a fishing rod right next to it, so don't yell at me for the mess. The door panel is holding up fantastically. The speakers are great. It's a standard 6-speaker sound system. I've read that it's Bose speakers, but it's only a 6-speaker as opposed to the 8-speaker with a subwoofer you get from the upgraded package. And that upgraded sound system is miles above this. Before a factory bass, it's still really, really good. All the speakers are still 10 out of 10 condition at 40,000 miles. The grab handle is aluminum. The interior, the steering wheel is holding up nicely. We'll take a step inside, fire it up from an interior point of view. Boom. And everything fires right to life. You hear the radar detector screaming. But again, this is a 40,000 mile update video. Let's take this 2021 Camaro LT1 out for a drive and see what it's got. All right guys, taking a step out here in the 2021 Camaro LT1 speed bump. Even though we have that low front lip, it still clears these speed bumps pretty well. I wasn't expecting to have nearly as much clearance as it actually does. It does get a little suspect over the bigger speed bumps, but as you hear, no scrapes, nothing. Handles them perfectly fine. The throttle still feels super good. The 6.2 liter engine note is fantastic. We're in sport mode. We'll throw it into the manual shifts. Ooh, sounds pretty good. We got a back road over here. We'll rip it around a little bit. We're not going to take it too crazy, but hopefully you guys get the point. Taking a step out here. Definitely sounds pretty cool. And just cruising along, we could throw it into like 7th gear. It's dead quiet. You don't really hear any road noise, the wind noise. You hear a little bit. My particular LT1 has like an issue with the fitment of the roof where it lets in a little bit of air, so at higher speeds above 50, 60, you hear a little bit of a whoosh, but you turn the volume up to like 7, 8 and it completely drowns it out. Definitely nothing not to buy the car over. I have heard Camaros with way worse wind noise, and I've heard Camaros with better, but in the most part, it's a pretty quiet vehicle on the inside, even if you're going 60, 70, maybe 80 miles per hour. The engine note, however, if you're on that throttle, you're gonna hear it right here. 4th gear, 3rd gear, 2nd gear. The steering feels awesome. And you get the burbles too. Good God. This thing is awesome. Alright, this this looks like a good time to turn around. We'll do exactly that. Whew. Let's test out a real world turning radius. It is very sharp. And stepping back out. Responsive shifts, steering is awesome. It's just so ridiculously capable when it comes to handling. You know, I'm not even coming remotely close to pushing this car's limits. It would be borderline reckless to push this car on public roads in the first place. That's simply just how capable it really is. Third gear, low RPM, so much torque. It's just such a powerful platform. Yeah, guys, it is awesome. Hopefully you guys can pick up just how awesome this car really is. I'll give this guy some space. We have a really cool back road coming up, and I'll catch back with you in 1 second. Taking a step out here, you can downshift the second on the gas. Oh! Downshift. On the concrete pavement, you hear a little bit more road noise, but really not a whole lot more. We got some sharp twisties coming up. Third gear. Second gear. And throwing it in. This car's got so much more in it. It's ridiculous. Got another one coming up. This guy a little bit of space, and I'll catch back with you. Yeah. Alright guys, taking a step back out here. Not sure if this is a cop coming my way, so I'm not going to go too crazy. Looks like it's just Parks and Rec. Downshift. Throwing it in. Sharp one. Woo. Traction control. Good thing it's there sometimes. Overall, this is such a beast of a car. I hope you pick it up on camera. It's so fun to drive and still a docile daily driver. No, my only complaint is that it's not spacious. I can't really fit people in the back seat. I can fit one person, their legs will be laying across, but unless they're kids, you're simply not going to fit two people in that back seat. One more twisty coming up. It sounds so cool. Steering feels awesome. The body roll simply does not exist. One more time. On the gas. out. Yeah, guys, if you're looking for a performance car under the $40,000 price point, I would definitely recommend checking out the 2020 anything Camaro LT1 while you still can. They should still have 2023s at dealerships, and if you can find one, 6-speed manual, 10-speed auto, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I've loved every moment with this car. It's such a good performance bargain. Ever since I've had this car, every single time I slam on the gas pedal, this thing puts a tremendous smile on my face. I've loved every moment with this car. It's a big reason for the success of this channel. I know that most of the videos that were getting a lot of attention when I was just starting out were of this car. So I owe this car a ton of love and appreciation. I know most of you guys know that this was a lease, which at the time was a great deal, at least I thought. But considering the fact that I could have probably picked this up before tax at around $29.30, after tax $32, the Kelley Blue Book value right now is $32.5. So imagine, yes, my payments would have been about triple per month. I understand that. But at the end of the day, I would have about half my equity right now, and I'll be able to get $32,000 for the car, put 15, 16 of that towards my next vehicle. Since that's not the case, my buyout for this lease is, I believe, $25,000, which is a little high, but $25,000 for a 40,000 mile Camaro LT1 isn't the end of the world. By the time I get to the end of the lease, I'll probably be closer to 50, 55, but still 25 should be a decent or okay value. Otherwise, I'll just take the cash that I can get from the sale, minus from the penalty of me going so far over my mileage, and just call it a day and move forward. But so far, I have loved every moment with this car. I appreciate all you guys who have stuck around from the beginning. And if you're looking at an LT1 and you're thinking about buying a Camaro, I would definitely recommend checking it out. And a big thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too, it really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.